All right. Good evening. Good evening. How y'all doing? It's D-Wiz. Um, we're going to cover this topic discussing the centralized and decentralized exchanges. I'm sure y'all have heard of them or familiar to some degree with like the likes of Coinbase or Uniswap. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. I want to cover some of the pros and cons and just give y'all an overview of, what y'all will be looking like or looking at when dealing with these different exchanges. So I don't want to bore y'all. I'm not gonna really stick on this slide. I just use it for reference. But yeah, let's kick this thing off. So all right. Simply said, what is a crypto exchange? A crypto exchange is a platform what you use to, swap, trade, and buy crypto assets. Simply said is that um you can, you have some other features when you get into the decentralized exchanges, but which are the decentralized exchanges, but with centralized exchanges, you have limited features. um you can do simple things as like market orders and limit orders and things of that nature, but besides that, you're very limited on what you can do on a centralized exchange. But I'll go over some of those things as we get deeper into this. But simply said, you can buy and sell crypto assets on a crypto exchange. All right. And then we're going to get into this here. This is just the title here, centralized versus decentralized. All right. It's a little wordy right here, but let me minimize this here. All right, so simply said, when you have a centralized or versus a decentralized exchange, with the centralized exchange, primarily it's operated by a third party, meaning that all of the transactions are processed by someone outside of yourself and that particular exchange, like Coinbase. It uses a third party to process all of their transactions. Um, they use a third party to manage all of the information relating to the members who pretty much bank with them. So when you look at a centralized exchange, you want to almost look at that as like your bank, like Bank of America or Wells Fargo or something like that. With a centralized exchange, you can't see the transactions being processed, and some people are okay with that, and in most cases, majority of the world has been operating on a system similar to that since we've been managing money, so that's what most people are familiar with. And then on the opposite end, you have the decentralized exchanges, and those are the exchanges that allow no middleman. So you operate directly with a smart contract that connects with a blockchain, and everything that's processed is filtered through that blockchain, and it's all visible for everyone to see. You know, um, on a more advanced level, I'll show y'all how the blockchain works and where you can see these transactions being processed. But I'm not going to touch on that here. But I just want you to know that everything that you do as far as swapping, selling, trading assets on a decentralized exchange, you can see that, and it doesn't require you to have a third party to say, all right, take my cash and convert it to this for me. You can do that all on your own with the decentralized exchange. All right, keep going. So with the with centralized exchanges, when it correlates to the security of them and hacking, as of late, most of the major centralized exchanges, they've been pretty safe, I would say, to some degree, but they still have vulnerabilities, and they have data breaches where I know just last year there were a few hacks or like phishing attempts being pushed to users that were of like Coinbase, and people's funds were stolen, or their data, their information, social security numbers, and things of that nature were stolen. And some of their assets were taken as well on these centralized exchanges. So that's a vulnerability that you have when dealing with centralized exchanges. Some of the other issues that you have with centralized exchanges are, you can't trust all of them. Just for example, like historically, there's probably been 10 to 20 of them that are like where the owners of that exchange just ran off with everybody's funds or assets. Like that's very possible with a centralized exchange, because when you transact on a centralized exchange, the bulk of the assets are being held by one single entity. And I'm gonna get into that a little further as we go along, but that is a vulnerability, meaning that, when someone holds everyone's assets, and well, I'll just make it short. When you don't have your private keys for the assets that you supposedly hold, you really don't hold them. Simply said, right? Now, with decentralized exchanges, you don't have those issues because you're the only person that's interacting with a smart contract. Now, there's still vulnerabilities when you're dealing with a smart contract, because they can be exploited also, but you don't have a middleman that's holding these assets for you at any particular time. You're just processing everything with the smart contract. And the only major vulnerability that I've seen with dealing with these decentralized exchanges are phishing attempts, where they'll pop up a fraudulent website like PancakeSwap. The main site may be PancakeSwap.exchange, but then you may see a PancakeSwap.com, and that .com, soon as you connect your wallet to it, they stealing all your assets. So that's the issues that you'll have with decentralized exchanges. But the perk is you don't have to deal with that single entity holding your assets for you when you want to swap or exchange, right? Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, D'Angelo, can you touch on like what are private keys?
Yep. So relating to what Moody just said with private keys. So private keys are your passcode. They give you access to your assets on decentralized wallets, meaning there's a multitude of these wallets out there, but Coinbase, they have a wallet separate from their actual exchange, which is a DeFi wallet or decentralized finance wallet, or what they call a Web3 wallet. So on these wallets, this is where you store your crypto assets, and you want to treat them in the same fashion in which you would treat the wallet that you keep in your back pocket, or any sensitive or valuable item that you want to keep safe on. So with these wallets, to access them, it requires you to provide a private key to open it. So this private key is is very valuable if you have a significant amount of crypto assets in that wallet. So the key thing with these private keys is, say you have one of these wallets stored on your phone, but you stored that private key, you wrote it down and put it in a safe or whatever. But say you lost your phone, or the phone broke, it won't turn on for you. The good thing about these wallets are, in this private key, is you can get another phone, and because it's all digitized and cryptocurrency is all digital, you can get another phone, download the application that this wallet is, like say a Trust wallet or a Coinbase wallet, and you input that private key, and now you have all your assets again. Now, if you don't write down that information, you'll never get those assets back, because there's no customer service that's gonna give you the private keys for your wallet. There's no customer service. That's the key thing about being decentralized and dealing with decentralized exchanges, is you become a self-custodian of your assets, which most people aren't familiar with doing because we've been banking with people our whole lives. You know, we've been allowing uh these institutions, these companies to, you know, hold our funds and do whatever they want with them in the meantime. But when you deal with a decentralized method of finance, then you become the self custodian of all your assets. But did that cover what you asked, Moody?
It was Jordan that had asked that, and he also had asked, what is,
Oh, he in the chat.
yeah, he in the chat.
Cool.
So the private keys are those like that 12-word phrase you get.
So that's a seed phrase, but yeah, it's a private key also. So they come in various ways. You have a seed phrase where you have like a sequence of 12 words, or you have a sequence of 24 words together. And those are your private keys to access your wallet. But then you also have, you know, a more advanced wallet where you have that key, but then you have like a separate private key also, and that's called a multi-sig wallet, which is a little bit more advanced than what I want to, you know, touch on here. But yeah, those are your private keys. You cannot lose them. So when you get a hold of them, when you create a DeFi wallet, you want to write them down, store them separate from the device that you're holding that wallet on. So if you lose that phone or whatever device you're using, whether it be a laptop, tablet, whatever you're using for that wallet, if you lose that, you don't lose that private key, so you can access your assets. So to answer your second question, Jordan, a smart contract is simply a contract that was created in code that operates without any singular like human like interaction. So the contract is pre-coded with information on what it's supposed to do, whether it means to buy, sell, swap, save, stake, whatever it means to do on that contract. And when you go to interact with it, it'll process everything without any human interaction, which, you know, which is great in a lot of cases. But then in some cases, they're exploitable also.
Facts.
All right, so let me get back. Was that good? Did that make sense right there about the smart contracts?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Cool. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. All right, privacy. So the differences that you have with privacy with these in comparison with the centralized and the decentralized exchanges, for centralized exchanges, you know, they want to know, some of them, they want to know your name, your birth date, your social security number, a passport. They want to know your firstborn. They want to know a lot of information, you know what I'm saying, relating to yourself in order for you to gain access to that particular exchange. You know, they'll ask you to take a picture of your ID card or passport to verify that you're you, and also for tax purposes. You know, with the decentralized exchange, you don't provide any information besides the wallet address, which you don't even input, because once you connect with their smart contract, it's already pulling that information. So you don't have to deal with, you know, verifying who you are to an exchange. Like, you can literally be a crypto millionaire in the decentralized world and be a thousandaire in the you know what I'm saying, public form outside of decentralized world, when you're dealing with, you know, your in real life assets, right? um yeah, so like I said, with centralized exchanges, they require a KYC in most cases to do majority of their like privileged transactions and stuff like that. I know for sure, like with Coinbase, like in order for you to do anything on there, you have to KYC. Some other exchanges like KuCoin, they don't require you to KYC unless you're doing something that's like that's requiring a large amount of money, right? Or a significant amount of money, right? And then the other thing with what was that, with decentralized exchanges, like I said, it's you're anonymous. Like they don't know your name, they don't know your age, they don't know your birthday, they don't know any of those things, which is a great thing.
What's the perk to them not knowing who you are and you just being a variety of letters and numbers?
So the benefit to that is, think about it in this way: when you're dealing with some and this is a little deeper than just simply operating on exchanges, but think about it in the mind frame of how people get like denied for loans, how they get denied for access to certain things based off of a variety of facts, like whether it be your skin color, whether it be how much money you own, what your credit score is. You know what I'm saying? That's the benefit of not having to KYC on a decentralized exchange. And if y'all remember what I just said, KYC is know your customer. That's when you have to provide all of these documents or your ID card to verify who you are. So when you're dealing with decentralized exchanges, you don't have to deal with any of those things that could limit you from accessing a higher level of wealth or giving you privileged access to information and opportunities when you're dealing with decentralized finance. That makes sense, Moody?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's keep it moving.
I know you have a question in the chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jordan.
I was going to read the question. It was, what are some examples of decentralized exchanges?
Oh yeah, we're gonna touch on those. They coming up. I'm gonna give you examples of both centralized and decentralized, and where you can find them also. So the other thing, let's compare the two relating to ease of usage for centralized and decentralized exchanges. So for those who are already familiar with, working with the Coinbase or crypto.com or ftx.us or binance.us, like those exchanges, once you start playing with them a little bit, they're pretty easy to use. Like they're simple to use. They don't require much besides, after you do your KYC, you verify who you are, you get on there and you say, I want to buy Bitcoin. You find Bitcoin and you select buy, connect your bank account, and you can buy it. Like no ifs, ands, or buts about it. On the other end, when you're dealing with decentralized exchanges, there's a few steps you have to take. And some people aren't willing to go through those steps because it may seem a little bit too complicated. Now, the people who are willing to go through those steps, they have some added benefits for doing that. Because sometimes when you operate on decentralized exchanges, you may get a cheaper rate. You may so on centralized exchanges, sometimes they upcharge some of the assets on there. So it may cost more depending on which exchange it is. I think Coinbase does pretty well with having some of the cheaper prices when you compare them to other exchanges. But you can, kind of get abused with using centralized exchanges sometimes. When you're trying to buy particular assets, they may charge a higher price. But some of the other benefits of using a centralized exchange, you can use your debit card, so you can directly connect your debit card or your bank account. When you're dealing with a decentralized exchange, you don't have those abilities, right? The only thing you could do is take an asset that you hold, say it be a stable coin, which I'm not sure who all knows what a stable coin is, but I'll touch on it. A stable coin is an asset that mirrors the dollar bill. So whatever the value of the dollar bill is, that is. So it is directly tied to $1. Like it varies slightly unless we talking about UST from the past week. you know, UST, that's another story. But USDC, USDT, those are stable coins that mirror the dollar bill. So if you purchase those stable coins, they're going to remain at $1 or roughly $1. So you can go and transact with these other with these decentralized exchanges. So if you want to go buy an asset, and you don't have to use a stable coin, but I'm just saying this for example. So it kind of is similar to purchasing with $1, like using that to purchase, using a debit card or your bank account to purchase an asset on a centralized exchange. Who was I traded DAI and I lost 2 cents for stable coins. Why? I'm not completely understanding that. I traded DAI and I lost. Yeah, I know DAI is a stable coin, and I lost 2 cents for 2 stable coins. Yeah, I don't completely understand your question. If it's a stable coin, should it be sold for the same price? Roughly,
Yeah.
but it still varies. Like what I'll tell you is if you look at stable coins, you'll see sometimes that it'll be slightly above $1. And then sometimes you'll see it at 99 cent and 99 point something cent. So it's gonna be roughly $1. It's not gonna stay at $1 because it's being tied or connected to various assets to maintain that balance of being $1. Right.
And when you do sell, depending on the exchange or the platform that you are, centralized or decentralized, you also pay a certain amount of fees as well.
Fact.
Take away from the value as well when you're doing your trades. And also to just chime in and elaborate on what D'Angelo was saying, pros and cons between, let's say, and just talking about a centralized exchange, he was touching on the fees. From my experience, I know Coinbase does very well with their fees, with even cashing out to your bank or even purchasing something, right? One thing that I would say though is if you're new to Coinbase, also get yourself a crypto.com exchange. The reason why is because if you're new, I'm not sure if it's still happening, but it was happening a lot last year, and I'm pretty sure it could frequently still happen. Say if you wanted to buy a certain amount of tokens or something like that, let's say you bought some Bitcoin and you also want to send your Bitcoin to your private wallet that same day that you bought it, Coinbase won't allow you if you're a new user to their platform because they've been victims of people purchasing coins and sending them off to their private wallets, and then they get stuck holding the bag and people just cancel their account or whatever. So if you bought like 3,000 worth of Bitcoin with your debit card and you did whatever you did, like, hey, that wasn't me, but you sent that money over there, now they got stuck holding it. So with that being said, you can utilize crypto.com. Crypto.com, even if you're a new user, you do have to go through their KYC verification, which is a little more extensive and longer. Their period, excuse me, is a little more extensive and longer, but they will automatically basically settle your money and allow you to send it off. And that's another reason why Coinbase does that too, because the money is not settled. So yeah.
And just to add to that, I think crypto.com requires you to add a Google Authenticator or something like that. They have a couple more steps that that Coinbase doesn't require, but then like Moody said, you'll be able to access, the ability to withdraw your assets to put into a DeFi wallet or something like that for sure. So,
and also to add to that, because I know you want to continue on with the class,
you go, bro.
to have different exchanges as well, even though D'Angelo is talking about decentralized and centralized exchanges. I'm also a fan of exchanges, right? Because of the fees. And also because, I lost my train of thought. Say if I want to buy, I like to purchase tokens or coins directly, right? I don't like to have to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ethereum is mostly what you'll need, Ethereum or BNB, depending on the platform that you're using, Uniswap or PancakeSwap. But to be able to exchange a token for another token on a decentralized platform, there's a lot of, give or take here and there, because it's the blockchain. You can say whatever you want to say, and it's like they don't know to hold, they don't really have anything to hold you accountable. But when you swap a token for a token, that's creating a taxable event for yourself, right? So with having, like, let's say crypto.com and Coinbase, and let's say you're looking for a token or a coin, right? And they're on decentralized platforms, like maybe it's on Uniswap or PancakeSwap. In a couple of months, yes, you may essentially miss the essential run up, but they will get listed on Coinbase if it's a good project, right? They'll get listed on Coinbase or crypto.com, and there's many more, like Gemini. There's plenty of other exchanges, but like Qcoin. But you can purchase those coins quicker there and just purchase them outright, instead of having to swap any of your Ethereum or your Bitcoin, or not Bitcoin, but BNB.
Hey,
Back.
just to respond to LP, I see some of your comments down here relating to individuals who since 2020 they've been, I guess, in the hole from trading or having most definitely LP. So I've been in crypto, since 2017. But what I tell you, LP, and I'll just touch on this briefly, your friends and whoever the 40 people that's on this call, when you looking at crypto, you want to look at it as a long-term investment. So you want to look beyond before 2020. You want to look back to 2010 and look at the long chart. You got to zoom out. That's what you must do, because then you'll understand that, cryptocurrency, the market has been going to the right and up overall. Ariana has, yeah, go ahead, Ariana, go ahead and speak if you can unmute.
Hi, I'm enjoying the presentation so far. Could you have the speaker repeat what he said in terms of swapping out your Ethereum for this? I couldn't remember, but he said there's a way to directly buy it instead of swapping out your Ethereum to purchase the coins. If that rings a bell. He just literally said it like a few minutes ago.
He's talking about like, instead of like having to go through Uniswap or PancakeSwap and swapping your BNB or Ethereum to purchase the asset that you're trying to acquire, you can wait. You may initially miss the run up, but like, let's say trying to think of a token, like Gala token wasn't on crypto.com for a good minute, and it was still sitting under a cent, and D'Angelo actually put that coin out a few days ago. You could purchase it on Qcoin, right? But some people might not have known about that exchange, and you probably know more about crypto.com or Coinbase, but you can wait for a token to get to that, to get listed on that exchange, and then purchase it outright. The reason why is because you can get, like I was saying, you can kind of get away with it, but they're trying to regulate as much as they can in cryptocurrency, and structure whatever the government's trying to structure around it. So the good thing is, being in decentralized platforms, they don't know who you are, and they also don't have to report back to the government. Now, Coinbase, crypto.com, Qcoin, anywhere that you have to KYC, know your customer, and basically give your social security number, or basically verify your identity, they report back to the government. So the day that you buy Bitcoin and you swap it for Ethereum, right? And mind you, you may not even be buying a lot, you're losing, because you're creating taxable events for yourself. When you buy it and hold it, you're not creating a taxable event for yourself if you follow protocol and the rules that they set out, and the guidelines that they give us, like say in Biden's infrastructure bills and things of that nature. That's why it's always good to be listening to what Chair Jerome Powell says, Yellen, the Treasury, anyone that's speaking and also speaking about cryptocurrency in itself, it's always good to keep an ear out and hear what they're talking about. Because we all understand that the government tries to take control over anything that's powerful or that's innovative. Look what happened with Facebook. I remember when Facebook was just for college people, right? And then in due time, everybody else was able to use it, right? So yeah, did that help? Hopefully I answered your question.
It
Yeah.
did. It was a lot to take in. If I wanted to do more research on that, what would I look up exactly?
You can
Just if she could DM me, just DM me on the Discord server, and I'll help you out directly. So don't worry about it. I'll help you out. Just to touch on what
one
LP. Go ahead, bro.
stay tuned. Get the lifetime subscription or the yearly subscription because things planned, and there's a lot of different we will board that can help you with that as well, and with tax as well. We'll get to that later. My bad.
Oh, you good, bro. I
Thank
think
you.
you started to
Thank you for
break up
that.
some too. No problem. Just to touch on what LP just said, he said he bought SHIB. He's a bag holder, 77% lost capital in 6 months or so. What I'll say to that, LP, so you got to understand the dynamics of the market cycles in cryptocurrency, what we're going through and what we're experiencing. Like, it was inevitable to happen, right? Every 4 years we go through, just like we go through seasons every year in the world. We go through summer, fall, winter, spring. Like, the cryptocurrency market goes through seasons in a sense. So yeah. So okay, yeah. So you got 10% profit at one time. You should have took some profit. So what I'll tell you, when you're dealing with crypto assets that were born out of a meme and they become utility tokens, they don't always last very long. So so just keep that in mind when you're dealing with assets like that. But I'm gonna keep it moving, man. LP, keep dropping whatever you like in there, and I'll respond to you, bro. No sweat. All right, cool. So somebody asked about the what decentralized exchanges. I'll cover these top 5. Well, these are the top 5 by volume for the centralized exchanges, and then these are some of the top dexes by I believe this is by market cap for the decentralized exchanges, right? So for instance, like with Binance, for those who live in the US, you can't use the regular Binance unless you have a VPN, which gets a little complicated. But we do have Binance.us, and then the same issue you would have with FTX. You have to use ftx.us unless you have a VPN to access it. But then you still have limitations when you go to withdraw, because then in some cases they ask you to KYC. So you kind of get pinned to where you can't even remove those assets. So I would recommend to not even attempt to transact on those 2 exchanges unless you're using the .us version of those 2 exchanges, right? Now, then we get down to Coinbase, and that's like the go-to exchange outside of people who use like Robinhood or Webull. Like, that's the next step into learning about crypto exchanges once you move away from Robinhood or like a Webull stock exchange. And just to put it out there, I do not recommend purchasing assets on like a primarily stock exchange, because they have hidden fees. You have issues where, and you have this with centralized exchanges where you can't remove your assets when you want to. That's one of the issues. I should have touched on it a few slides ago, but when you hold your assets on centralized exchanges, you have limitations to where you can't remove your assets, right? Say, I want to say last year, early last year, it might have been 2020 when Dogecoin was running. There was a lot of people complaining about Robinhood not allowing them to sell their assets. Now, Robinhood wasn't the only one that was doing that. You know, a lot of these centralized exchanges that you see listed here, they were doing the same thing. They were holding individuals' assets and not allowing you to profit by selling those assets. And that's the control factor that they have over your assets. And that's why I highly recommend, you know, using self-custodial wallets, decentralized wallets, which we're gonna cover. I'm gonna show y'all what those wallets look like shortly. But these are your top 5 wallets. You got Kraken, and then my favorite out of likely all of these, which I probably use the most, is Qcoin, because what I like about Qcoin is it doesn't require you to KYC in order to do majority of the things that you would like to do on the exchange. And it has a lot of things that you can do, from, you know, basic spot trading where you just buying and selling assets, but then you can trade futures, which that's what Jordan loves to do. You can do leverage trading on like triple leverage, bull and bear tokens. You can get access to a lot of assets that these larger exchanges don't get to very quickly. So you can capitalize on being early to new projects and getting some quick gains from that. So like Qcoin was actually the first exchange that I used besides Binance back in 2017. And I believe Qcoin was like brand new then, but that was like the first exchange I had ever used. But then I do use Coinbase, but I personally don't hold any assets on like a Coinbase or any of these exchanges primarily that I had to KYC in. I don't hold any assets on there, just out of like, you know, habit that I don't do that. But then we'll look over here. Some of your top 5 decentralized exchanges, and I see some messages in the chat. I'll get to those in a second. But some of the top 5 decentralized exchanges, you got Uniswap, and then I was heavy using PancakeSwap, which it operates on the Binance Smart Chain. But Uniswap was one of the first, and it is the biggest of all of these decentralized exchanges. But Uniswap is primarily ERC20, which means a Ethereum blockchain decentralized exchange, meaning all of the assets that are built on the Ethereum blockchain can be swapped and traded on Uniswap, right? And then you get down here to PancakeSwap, and all of the Binance Smart Chain, meaning like your SafeMoon, your what else is on there? All of your primary meme tokens are on the Binance Smart Chain, and you would transact with those on PancakeSwap, because most of them are built on the Binance Smart Chain. I've not personally used this DYDX. I don't know exactly what blockchain this primarily operates on. And then Curve Finance is a decentralized finance platform that operates as an exchange, but also like a lending protocol and a few other things. This Con protocol, I have no clue what that is, but they're getting a lot of volume. Yeah. So let me touch on, see what this chat is talking about. Okay. Yeah. So I made a 20K crypto personally, but was from trading it, not from long-term holding. Yep, that's a way to do it. That's one of the ways you can do it. Okay, problem issue. Yeah. Okay, that's just conversation. We take, okay. Yeah, y'all just conversing in here. Cool. What are crypto futures? When does Qcoin require KYC? Okay, so crypto futures is Jordan, touch on that, man, because I don't trade futures. I'll let you touch on that briefly, and I'm gonna respond to this KYC thing. So KuCoin requires KYC. I believe when you deposit, if you want to deposit over $10,000, something along those lines, those things change. So don't quote me on that, but I want to say the last time I checked, that was one of the prerequisites if you wanted to like do special things that are on KuCoin, like if you want to deposit anything over $10,000. If we are gaining, is that new? I don't know what that means. All right, can y'all touch on how to get around KYC on KuCoin? Yeah, so getting around KYC, what I do is I don't purchase via debit card, bank account. I just deposit assets there, meaning I'll deposit a coin that I like to transact with, whether it be a stable coin or like Stellar Lumens. I like to transact with Stellar Lumens because it has some of the cheapest fees, which Stellar Lumens is XLM. I'll send that asset, say from Coinbase to KuCoin, and that allows me to get around, well, somewhat get around KYC because I'm not depositing over $10,000 at a time when I'm transacting there. So, but when you're trying to deposit a significant amount via like debit card or bank account, that's when they ask you, hey, yeah, we need you to KYC. So see, okay, cool. Okay, take it easy, LP. Appreciate the engagement, man. How do you pick good projects? Like what qualities do you look for when investing into them? Man, I can go long on that one. Look, I'm gonna answer this question. I'm gonna remember you, Nelly. Hit me on the Discord. I will go in depth about that. I've touched on it before, but I'll go in depth about that within the server. I don't want to get off the main topic here today, but I will touch bases on that today. Just hit me in the server. When you want to, okay, how would you compare day trading crypto to the stock market? So when day trading crypto, yeah, I'm gonna touch on that another, but I'll touch on it briefly. Like when day trading crypto comparison to the stock market, crypto is 24 hours a day. That's one key thing. Like you can trade it anytime and practically so many different places. Can we get a video of how you transfer from Coinbase to KuCoin? I'll work on that for sure. All right, cool. All right, let's get back to it. All right. But yeah, these are, some of the top exchanges out there, whether it be centralized or decentralized. Let's keep it moving. All right. So when you're deciding on what you prefer as far as your usage for exchanges, you have to think about what do you primarily want to do in crypto. So some people like a more simplified method and investing in cryptocurrency. So they're okay with like that more traditional way of doing business with their finances, like working with a bank, and they primarily just want to deal with centralized exchanges like Coinbase. I'm gonna buy my crypto on Coinbase and I'm gonna let it sit, whatever happens, whatever it happens. Like some people are comfortable with that, but then you have people like myself where I want to do more than that. Like I want to be the sole custodian of my assets because like I said previously, with a centralized exchange, you have vulnerabilities. Like, and just keep in mind, like I love cryptocurrency, but what I also want to caution you is these assets are still very speculative. So at any point in time, the government could say something crazy, and half of the cryptocurrencies can go away. Like that's a possibility. Will it happen? Likely not, but we could get some form of regulation that could make a lot of cryptocurrencies go away. And you don't want your cryptocurrencies being stuck on an exchange and then that news come out and they're like, yeah, we're gonna hold these assets because of the news that just came out and we're not gonna allow you to sell. I don't want someone to have that ability or that control over an asset that I paid my hard-earned money for. So that's but that's how I look at it. You know, you use a centralized exchange because of the convenience and the familiarity of using it. And then a decentralized exchange, it gives you the flexibility of being anonymous. It gives you the flexibility of, you know, transacting at times for a lower cost or cheaper cost. And it also allows you to be your sole custodian of that asset and have no limitations on what you want to do with it. All right. But that's something you'll have to choose. Now, you don't necessarily have to stick one or the other. You could do both. I do both because, you know, right now, you can't go and spend USDT, which is that stable coin, at Walmart, right? So I have to always come back and convert, you know what I'm saying? If I use cryptocurrency and cash it out, I'll have to convert it back at a centralized exchange, because then I'll be able to sell it back into my wallet with into my bank account. With a decentralized exchange, you don't have that ability to convert USDT or Ethereum or Bitcoin and sell it from your wallet back into your bank account. You don't have that ability. So most people, you know, lead into the future, they'll do more like a hybrid model where they're operating on both centralized and decentralized exchanges together, where they can, you know, exploit both opportunities, right? And let's keep on moving. Somebody said something in the chat. Let's touch it real quick. How would you compare? Okay, we got that. Cool. And remember, the questions that I did not get, that's a little, you know, a little off the current topic, please send those in the Discord server, in the crypto chat. I will respond to every one of those, but I don't want to, because I will go on a tangent. Like Moody will tell you, I could talk about crypto for 24 hours, just being honest. So I don't want to go on a tangent. I want to keep it to the topic. So we're going to keep it moving. All right, cool. We're going to move to a practical exercise so I can show y'all, because I don't want to make this so stupefied where people want to, you know, we go through the process of using like a centralized exchange. I'm going to show y'all what it looks like to use a DeFi wallet and, you know, go through and view one of these decentralized exchanges. We're going to use PancakeSwap. So give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Okay. Cool. Anybody got any questions while I'm doing this now? Cool. Can y'all see my other screen?
No, we just see you.
Just see me. Hold on.
Can you explain what Metamask is and how you use that?
Yeah, Metamask is a decentralized wallet also. It is a Web3 wallet. Okay. Let me get this thing up. Yeah, it is a Web3 wallet that allows you to do some of the functionalities in which we're about to do now.
So that's similar to Uniswap.
No, so MetaMask is the actual wallet. That's where you actually hold the assets. And then Uniswap is the platform. That is the decentralized exchange that you'll be using to process transactions on using your MetaMask wallet. But this is a similar wallet. This is the Trust wallet that I just opened. And matter of fact, give me a second. Move that. So y'all can't see my screen, right? And this is my phone. Y'all can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna close this, but I'm gonna go back. So this is my little meme wallet. So I'll let y'all know all these little meme tokens. You see most of them that went to zero. That's a learning lesson there. But I only put like $25 in each, but they practically a zero. They've been at zero even before this last pullback. But this is the trust wallet. And just like you were just mentioning, you have Metamask. That is a wallet also. Metamask is a wallet. It's a multi blockchain wallet that allows you to put various blockchain assets on it, right? It you can put Ethereum tokens, you can put Binance Smart Chain tokens, a ton of other blockchain tokens on that wallet. You can do the same thing on this wallet called Trust Wallet. So in this wallet, you know, you can store NFTs. I don't have any in this particular wallet. You can swap within this wallet itself. You don't actually have to go to one of those decentralized exchanges. The only difference is this wallet likely is going to charge you a higher fee to swap particular assets. So I don't always swap within the wallet, right? Within this wallet, say you wanted to send some smart chain. Y'all see that smart chain? You wanted to send some Binance Smart Chain from Qcoin or Coinbase to this wallet so you can transact to buy some, or you wanted to swap to buy some gamer token or this HODL token or that token that's below that or Moonrat, right? You could hit this receive button, and what's going to happen is, all right, say I wanted to receive, so like I said, smart chain. You have this QR code which you would copy, or this this public key that's below the QR code. That's what you will put in to into Coinbase or Qcoin, whichever centralized exchange you're going to use to deposit into this particular wallet. Now, I'm not going to do that here, but that's something I will, will certainly do in a future video, so y'all have a better understanding of that. But I just wanted to show y'all the functions of what you can do inside the wallet before we actually get to the decentralized exchange, right? But then you can also do the opposite. You can send assets from this wallet to Coinbase or any other exchange, centralized exchange, right? We go to this.
I'm not sure if you mentioned it. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were gonna
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Can you also show them how you can create a custom token? Like, say a new token came out, like say when SafeMove came out, or Shiba, and it's not on an exchange, but you want to go through a decentralized exchange like the Trust Wallet. How you are able to acquire the decimal amount and the contract address and things of that nature.
Yep, I'll do that. I'll touch on that. This is another feature. It says discover. You can see the different things that you can do in here. Various like staking. If you own Solana, you can stake it in here and get a 6.5% APY on it. You can do that all within this wallet. You scroll down. It's other things that you can do within the wallet, but we're not going to touch on those. That's additional confusing things that I don't want to confuse y'all with. But what I want to go to now is here, PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap is the decentralized exchange that I wanted to cover, right? So this is a decentralized exchange. Within this exchange, and it may look very complicated. I give it to you, like it may be very complicated, but what I'm gonna do now is show you what Moody was just speaking of. So say there was a particular token that you wanted to purchase, right? But it's not currently on a centralized exchange because it's too new, but they said it's available on PancakeSwap, right? So what I would do is, first and foremost, there's a couple places you can go, but I'm gonna go to a simple place, and that is CoinGecko, right? CoinGecko. All right, so I would go to CoinGecko, and let's see. We're gonna search and see if I see any. Actually, let's go here. We're gonna go to categories, and we're going to scroll down. And because I'm operating on the Binance Smart Chain, or what they call now the BNB chain, I'm going to click the BNB chain, and let's find a token let's find one of these extremely cheap tokens. So I'm going to switch the market cap to practically zero, right? Let's see. I don't know. I just choose one of these. Okay, GST. That's the step token for stepping token for anybody that's using stepping right now. So what you want to do here is, because more than likely, right? Well, stepping, this token actually might be in there, but more than likely when you have a brand new token that you're trying to get into that's like fairly new, but you're trying to get into it before everybody else, what you have to do is you come down and you have to copy this contract address. So I select that contract address, I copied it, and now I'm gonna go back into my wallet, right? And actually, before I actually even trade it, the first thing I'm gonna do is, let me close this. I'm gonna go back to the main set of my wallet here. I'm gonna go to the top right corner, select settings, and I'm gonna search for this wallet. I mean, this particular token, right? That's switch. And it's actually there. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna put some letters in here, and it say add custom token, right? Say that this is in the event that it's not there. The first thing you're gonna do then, because I know we're operating on the Binance Smart Chain or the BNB chain, you want to switch this network to Smart Chain, right? And then that contract address that I just pulled from CoinGecko, I'm gonna hit paste, and all of the information is gonna populate. Now, if it's extremely new, like this, you're the first 1,000 people in this token, it won't populate like this, right? What's gonna happen is the contract address is gonna populate. You're gonna have to input the name, the symbol, and this decimal. Now I'm gonna show you where to get this info. This is a little bit more elevated, but hopefully you can take notes and remember this if you're trying to add a token to your wallet so you can view it, right? And this is what I'm doing. I'm adding this token so I can actually see this token in my wallet. So before I hit save, I'm gonna show y'all where to get the information for the actual decimal, because you'll know what the name of the token is and you'll know what the symbol is already, but you'll need to know what this decimal is to input this in correctly. So I'm gonna scroll back, and I'm gonna go back to CoinGecko, right? And I'm gonna hit info, and then I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna view this on the blockchain. So I'm gonna select blockchain and supply, which is the BSC scan. This is the blockchain for the Binance Smart Chain or BNB chain. So once I'm here, the information is going to populate. That's the same contract address. This is another way you can go directly to get the correct contract address. You could copy it here or copy it where we copied it originally, but ultimately I wanted to know what the decimal was, and here it is 8, right? So I would go back.
Hey D, before you leave, oh dang, never mind.
I go back. Go ahead.
I was gonna say another good thing to look at, like the transfers that's been going on the tokens and then going into the blockchain. I know that's a whole nother story, but going into the blockchain, seeing the transactions yourself. But if you don't want to do too much of that, because you may not know, you can also look at where it says holders and see how many wallet addresses are actually holding that token. And then you can actually look into those wallet addresses and see what those wallet addresses are actually holding. That's another good thing about a decentralized platform and going into blockchain. If I have your wallet address, I can look into your wallet address and see if you actually have those assets before trying to make a transaction.
That's a fact. And just to touch on briefly what Moody was saying, so yeah, you can see everything on this blockchain. All of these addresses, you can view anyone's wallet. I could come up here and search for my wallet, post it in this search address, and see every asset that I own currently. Any transactions that I process. That's a whole nother class, and I will be covering that because it's very good to know how to view these things. Because for one, say GST was a rug, you assume that GST was a potential honeypot or a rug pull token, like something that's going to be very vulnerable, and they may run off with your money. You know, you could come here. One thing I like to key on is, right, I scrolled down because what I did was I hit holders. I want to see, one, how many holders are already holding this asset. It's 6,063, right? Then I scroll down here and I'll see, so the top wallet currently has 94% of the entire, you know what I'm saying, circulation supply of this asset. Or maybe that's not the circle, that's the that's from the distro wallet, right? And I'm going a little off of the main topic, but I just want y'all to know all of this stuff is visible. So you can see that now GST isn't a rug pull or anything like that. It's actually a utility project that's doing very well. But under normal circumstances, if I see a project that has 94% of the supply in one wallet, that's a red flag for me, right? Especially if it's not the distribution wallet, which this is the distribution wallet. That's why it has so many tokens. And then 5% is actually in the liquidity pool for a pancake swap. That's a whole nother story. I'm not going to touch on it, but I just want y'all to understand there's a lot of information that you can see on the blockchain that'll give you direction in which you should choose when, you know, purchasing these assets. But I'm gonna go back.
Would you say that's a con? Just hold your thought real quick, D-Wiz, but would you say that's a con of the decentralized network, like being able to see everything and people, like if you paste your wallet info, people being able to see that? Or
So I see it as more of a pro, but you know, it can be a con because, you know, if someone knows your wallet address, which you shouldn't give your wallet address just to anybody or tell anybody about your particular assets. That's like one of my main rules that I push out to people, like, do not disclose your holdings to anybody, right? Because, and if you, and more importantly, if you disclose, you know, your public key to anyone, they can come and look up your assets, right? So the con for that is, you know, if somebody can see what all of your assets are on this particular wallet and you got 100 Bitcoin in it, they might come knocking on your door. You see what I'm saying? So that's a con when you're a sole custodian of your assets. And I had mentioned this before. The con is like you don't have physical security. Like you don't have physical security like a bank would, because they control those assets and they hire people to protect those assets. Unless you have,
but also just to play devil's advocate, also that's only in the event that the individual release their wallet address to another individual, right? So in the event that, let's say that may occur from someone probably trying to be braggadocious or something of that nature, right? Because essentially, if you're thinking about the cryptocurrency space and you trying to make a transaction or possibly giving a gift or something of that nature, is going to be a relative, a friend, something of that nature. Since the space is already, you know, people look at it like a pyramid scheme and things of that nature, right? So you're already gonna be very cautious about doing certain things. You may see something pop up on an exchange, right? And I'll say it like this: you may feel safe on an exchange for giving them access to your identity, but then you may not feel safe for not giving access to your identity with a decentralized exchange, for them just giving you some private keys and you just go about your way, right? Because I know when I first got into crypto, I was like, wait, I don't like that. Wait, this is weird. But then I started understanding and getting educated behind it, and you know, just picking D'Angelo's brain and learning from him, and I got a little more educated, right? But I look at it as a pro because let's say well, not even in the event, because it's already here where people are utilizing, not people, but companies utilizing and people, NFTs to be able to sell their homes, right? So that's like a double profit when you're selling your home already and getting essentially a capital or a return on investment from selling your home, but now you're also doing it with an NFT and gaining a perk and also giving the owner a new ownership of the home, having ownership of land, right? And also having ownership of the NFT, right? Because let's say if he wanted to sell that and not sell the NFT of the house, he still has a value of that house, right? So with me saying that, that's a pro because let's say you're in real estate or you're talking to somebody and you're going to do a transaction of that sort or just a large transaction, and somebody says, hey, I do have the funds to be able to hold up my agreement with you, right? Now you can say, okay, cool. Can you show me proof? Most people don't want to show you proof or anything, but okay, look, go look at my wallet. You know what I'm saying? And now you can go check proof, and of course you can say, play devil's advocate with that and say like, oh well, he just sent me an anonymous wallet. Who knows if that's him? But there's a lot of different ways to like gain trust. But yeah, that's my thoughts behind it. My bad.
You good, bro. But just to add to what Moody said, so the pro is this. Like I said, you don't disclose your holdings to anyone. But when you're operating in this space dealing with decentralized exchanges, you're not disclosing anything but your public key. So in doing that, nobody knows who you are, where you live. So you're protected in a sense. The only time you're not protected is if you take like a screen like this, but has your full public key in it, and you go post it on Facebook showing that you got 100 Bitcoin in it. You know, now people, okay, all right, he got 100 Bitcoin. Okay, he live in DC. Okay, he live on this street. Oh, he was at this restaurant. You know what I'm saying? People do things like that, you know, when they're trying to find you.
Another thing I would add, thank you for mentioning that, with is some of these, like say the lobster wallet or something like that, you will have to connect like for a verification. Like say if you're trying to log in on a different device or something like that, or you're passing along those private keys, you'll have to log into an email that you connected to that private wallet. One thing I would say, make sure you do not use an email that has your name on it, right? Even if you have to create another email or something, use an anonymous email. Don't have an email that basically relates to you. Even if it's a hometown email, something of that, if it's connected to like Facebook, you want to be completely anonymous.
That's a fact. And some wallets do require you to attach an email. And like Moody said, don't use one that's your primary email. Use an email, like he said, that's brand new. That's because they use that email account because some of these wallets, they do have customer service. So if you do something in your wallet and you're confused about it or you need assistance, like you can report that and then they'll respond to you via email. So don't think of that as like when you using these DeFi wallets, like they have some type of centralized system to verify who you are. Just use a private email or an email that doesn't really identify, you know what I'm saying, who you are, if you want to move that way. If not, if you can care less, don't worry about it. But let's get back here. So like I said, we took the contract address, and what we're doing, we're trying to add this particular token into the wallet so you can actually see it. So we pasted the contract address in here, and now I'm going to save it. Once I do that, now it populates in the wallet, and I'll show you where it looks, where it's at. So I back out and you'll see it right there. Green Satoshi token. Now it's in my wallet. Now, what I want to do also, I'm going to go back because it's been some time. I'm going to go back to CoinGecko, go back to price chart, and I want to copy this address again just to make sure I still have it copied. Because what I'm going to do next is attempt to purchase some of this token. I don't know if I got enough BNB in here, but we'll see what happens, right? So I'm gonna go back to browser. I'm
Can you
gonna
buy me
open.
some?
I got some, man, but I ain't gonna do it right now. I only got like $3, bro. So I'm going back to the exchange, and I'm gonna give you an overview of what this exchange does. Like what I haven't used, I'm gonna tell y'all is the limit option here, and I guess that's where you can process a limit order on a decentralized exchange. That's major. Like that's something that's new that a lot of these exchanges didn't have before. You just pretty much had a market order, but we're gonna go back. I'm gonna tell y'all everything about what's on this page. So under the swap function, this is where you exchange the asset. This is where you swap the BNB token, or if you wanted to use a stable coin, like I mentioned before, BUSD is a stable coin, right? That is like mirroring the dollar bill. And you can use that if you had that asset. I don't have any BUSD, but I have a little bit of BNB in here, right? So let me see. Yeah, I'm under the swap function. If I wanted to add that GST token, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap, like I just tapped that where it says cake, and I'm gonna search for this token using that copied address. I'm gonna hit paste, and then it pops up, and I verified it's the right one because it said via coin market cap. That's one of the major data aggregators in crypto. I'm gonna hit import, right? Now it's gonna alert me, blah, 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 creating, okay, I understand. And I'm gonna hit import. Now it's in there and I'm able to swap my little $3 and buy some GST if I want to. So what I'll do is, because this BNB is broken down to a fraction of the entire BNB token, which BNB currently, I think it's a little over $300, maybe slightly below it. What I'll do is put in the amount that I want to purchase. I want to purchase 0.005, right? And then it populates and tells me how much I'll get, which is 0.14 of a GST, right? And that's, you scroll down, you see where it says slippage tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
So this slippage tolerance, and I'm gonna explain that to you. This slippage tolerance is something that in decentralized finance you'll see a lot, and a lot of these meme tokens, they require a higher slippage slippage. They require a higher slippage to transact to be able to purchase their tokens, because they factor in other fees to fund their project. So like for SafeMoon, for instance, if I wanted to purchase SafeMoon, they're going to tax me a 10% slippage, meaning that 10% of what I'm trying to purchase is actually going to go to them. I'm not going to get 10. I'm only going to get 90% of what I'm attempting to purchase when I turn this slippage to 10% for SafeMoon. But for this particular asset, I'm not sure what the slippage is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test it out. So I'm going to hit swap to see if it allows me to process it, right? Price is updating, because with decentralized finance, like I told you before, in comparison to decentralized finance, the price is typically cheaper at times, right? And you're going to get a better, more fluid or more accurate price when you're dealing with these decentralized platforms. So I'm gonna hit accept, because it's going to keep doing that until I actually confirm the swap. So I hit confirm swap, and okay, the slippage works, but it's going to charge me $1.75 to process this, right? Now, I only got like $3. I ain't gonna do that, but whatever.
So what exactly is slippage tolerance? Is that like, what's the difference between that and this network fee or gas fees that I hear?
So the slippage tolerance is something that the actual token applies to their smart contract when they're trying to when they develop it. And that's where they embed in like different fees. Like they'll put in their white paper and they'll say, all right, 5% of this fee or transaction fee, which they're going to call this the slippage, 5% of this fee is going to go to marketing. 5% of the fee is going to go back to the holders of this asset. 5% of this fee is going to go to this. And all of those different fees, they'll ball that up and make that a requirement under the slippage. Okay. So like I said, I'm gonna go back. I don't want to buy that for that $1.75. I got $3. I'm not gonna do it.
Hey, D-Wiz, can you show them like any event, like say you're trying to buy that token, or say I'm trying to swap in another different token. You see how it doesn't say the actual dollar amount, and it just tells you like how much partial token you're going to get. What's a good thing or a good point of reference? Like say if you don't know and you're trying to make sure you're getting the right dollar amount, what's a good platform that you can go to and input that number and view it in dollar amount?
Okay, hold on 1 second, but I'm gonna cover this slippage a little more in depth, and then
Yeah,
hit you with that question again, right? So sometimes, like I mentioned, sometimes this 1% slippage won't work. Like with SafeMoon, I said they require you to have at least 10% slippage. So if you had to change this number here from 1% to 10%, you have to scroll here and you see this little settings gear looking icon. You want to click that and you want to scroll down and actually manually put in the slippage amount that's required for that particular token. Now, in order to find out that information on what the slippage is, it'll typically be on the website for that particular project. And this is usually with meme tokens or you usually see this with meme tokens or very fairly new projects, some high yielding projects. You'll see these requirements for a high level of a slippage. When you see a project that doesn't have a crazy slippage, like if it's not above 1% or if it's not above 5%, then it's likely not like a scam project. Like that could be an indicator, I would say, by any measure. Like, but a lot of times you'll have to come and change this. So I just want y'all to see, if y'all read like SafeMoon required a 10% slippage, you would come here and set it to 10. Now I've tried to make a transaction with SafeMoon and I've had to put it like at 12. So you may have to just slowly keep bumping it up if you're really willing to get that particular asset, right? Or if you really want it that bad, right? So, but that's how you do it. You could change it. I'm gonna change it back to 1% so I don't forget and not tax myself for no reason. But that's how you do that. But now go back to your question, Moody. My memory ain't the greatest. Say it one more time, bro.
No, I was saying like, say if somebody's trying to make a transaction with GST or a different token and they wanted to figure out the dollar amount, what's the good platform that they can go to and implement that number, that 0.14962 number, and see it in the dollar amount and making sure that they're getting the value that they're trying to.
Got you. Yeah. So you can do all of this on one of these data aggregators like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap. So I was just using CoinGecko and it's my preferred. It is my preferred data aggregator, but I'm gonna make it more simple. I'm gonna say 0.149. We're gonna see how much money that is when it relates to real dollars. So I'm gonna scroll back and go back to CoinGecko, and then here under CoinGecko, I'm gonna change this. Is it that one? No, it's this one. 149. And there it is there. So in dollars, that's $1.49, right? If I wanted to buy, 100 of these, it will be $997. And I use this tool often when I'm trying to get an exact amount of a particular asset. I use this all the time to convert or just get an exact number. So if I want to spend $1,000, how much? Or you can come back over here and see what $1,000 will be. It's That's 100.3 GST tokens, right? But let's go back over here to Pancake Swap because I want to show y'all a few more features that are in here. Because unlike centralized exchanges, these decentralized exchanges, they have so many more features. Like besides swapping, you could like I said, they just added this feature. I haven't tried it before. It's probably been there for a few months, but I haven't traded any Binance tokens in a while. But you can put in like a specific number instead of using like a market order to place a trade. And then here you can create your own liquidity pools, which that'll be a whole nother topic that we'll get into. But I just want to show y'all the various things that you could do in here. Oh dang, I didn't know they had this either. So, oh yeah, that's new to me too. Yeah, that's so Pancake Swap is growing. You can't do some of these features like this and staking and liquidity pools that you can't do that on centralized exchanges. They won't allow you to do that. You can simply buy, sell, swap from one asset to another, right? So let's go back. We're gonna scroll down though, and let's go to earn. And here we have the various types of yield farms or liquidity pools. We'll hop into pools. And under the pool section, you can see this is what you would call staking. So on some centralized exchanges, you do have features where you can stake, but you won't find any that will give you 129% APY. You'll only find that on decentralized platforms like this. So these numbers were extremely higher, I want to say a year ago from now. Like you will be able to see Pancake Swap, they was giving 500% APY. And as more people get into these liquidity pools and these staking pools and these yield farming opportunities, those APRs or APYs, they start to go down over time. As you can see, a lot of these have gone down. There was like a lot longer list than we see here many months ago. But let's keep moving. Those are, and the pools are, these are single asset staking. So like you're just staking one asset and earning that asset, or you may be earning Cake, which is Pancake Swap's native token. I got a few questions, and I'm gonna touch on questions in just a second. Now let's go to the yield farming assets. It's the same or similar concept. The only difference, you have dual assets, meaning I have Cake and BNB. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna provide liquidity for these assets, meaning I have to have Cake in my wallet, I have to have BNB in my wallet, and then I would come to, let me go back. Then I would go back here to liquidity, and I would provide liquidity for Cake and BNB by hitting this function. And then I can come back to earn and go to farms, and I'll be able to yield 32.2% APR from providing liquidity for those two assets. And that's how that works. But you have a few assets here, but that is like dual asset, yield, where you provide two different assets and you yield a percentage of this. Now, when I first saw this, it really blew my mind because I took a break from crypto from early 2018 to 2019 when the crash happened. And when I came back and I saw things like this, I was like, I have to get back into cryptocurrency because this is an opportunity that, a lot of people know nothing about. There's no bank, there's nothing in the centralized world that's going to give you a yield of 155% APR. Now, granted, these are very volatile assets. You're going to see these assets diminish in value. You're going to see them increase in value over time. So you know, there's risk involved, but you know, if you find an asset that can stand the test of time, which there are a lot of them that will stand the test of time, you'll reap the benefits of holding on to that asset and yielding crazy APYs or APRs like this, right? So let me keep it moving. Then they have this win function. I haven't been on here in a while, so they have like little gamified things where you can buy a ticket and you could potentially win this lottery. $93,000 pool. And it's constantly going up because people are providing more liquidity to this lottery. So you purchase a ticket. Once this time runs out, you win 20,000 pancake tokens, which you can immediately go and sell. And once you immediately sell, nobody's gonna come to you and say, say this was $900,000 or $9 million. Nobody's gonna come to you on the news and say, yeah, this is the winner of this pot, you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be, you know, semi-famous for a day because you won the lottery. No, nobody's gonna do that. You can anonymously take this cake, swap it for whatever else, send it to Coinbase and cash it out if you like, which you will have some form of tax ramifications because of that. Or you could take whatever you want here and go buy more assets if you like, or you can borrow against it, which I'm going to teach y'all about borrowing against your assets on another class. But there's many features that you can do here. NFT marketplace, you can see various, you know what I'm saying, NFTs that you can purchase within this platform. So it does a little bit of everything, and you don't get these things on most of your centralized exchanges. Now, some of them are coming along. If you look at crypto.com, they do have an NFT marketplace. You look at FTX.us, they do have an NFT marketplace that doesn't charge any transaction fees. So centralized exchanges, they're trying to blend a model that mirrors what the decentralized exchanges are doing, but they will be limited because they operate in a centralized manner, meaning they have to abide by so many rules. Now, do I believe that decentralized finance and these decentralized exchanges will be void of that going into the future? I think they will have some regulation because, you know, there's been a lot of platforms out there that have been exploited. Millions of dollars have been taken. But there's still a lot of them that are successful and haven't had any issues. I don't know of any known issue from PancakeSwap. I don't know of any known issue from Uniswap, right? So, but that is the gist of what we're looking at as far as a decentralized finance exchange. But let me touch on and see what y'all have here as far as questions. Let's see what y'all got in the chat. Okay. Jordan, day trading crypto versus stock market. Crypto 24 hours, more volatile off news, a lot more assets to trade. That is a fact. Appreciate it, Jordan. Elizabeth, when transferring across exchanges or wallets, you'll find the withdrawal function. Copy the address you are looking to send to paste that as the address to send to. Appreciate it, Jordan. He just telling the process in which you would withdraw or send assets from a centralized to a decentralized wallet. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, that is a fact. After you're done, are you able to pull up a centralized versus decentralized platforms again? Yes, I will. I do that right now. Anybody got any more questions? Y'all can come on and talk to me now. I'm gonna pull up this slideshow again so y'all can see those exchanges real quick from the person that asked that question. Let's go. Okay, all right, we're back. All right. No, go back. Okay. All right. Check the chat. What would you recommend for a beginner to start off with? Staking, yield farming, etc. If you've advanced from the concept of, one second. Yeah, if you advance to the point where you know how to send assets from a centralized exchange to a decentralized exchange, I would recommend, first, because like I said, some of these centralized exchanges, they offer the ability to do staking on them. Like if you want to get familiar with that concept, you can do that there first. And most of them just require you to hold that asset in your wallet on that centralized exchange. So you can do that first. I know crypto.com was providing a feature like that where you can get yield from just holding that asset. But if you want to get into staking on these decentralized platforms, I would recommend, like I said, going on PancakeSwap. Most of those projects that provide yield, like research those projects, go on CoinGecko and look up that particular token and find out what it does first. Don't just want don't just go there for the particular amount of APR that is going to provide to you, because it may have 150% APR, APY, but the token may be a dud, So the entire time that you're in it, the token's value may be going down, but you may be getting more assets or more tokens in quantity. So you may be balancing out or actually losing. So just ensure that when you go to staking on these decentralized platforms, make sure you're getting into a quality token. That's, for one, going to stand it's going to stand the test of time, but it's also going to survive and not continuously decline if you're, hoping for a great yield from it. If that answers your question. All right, that's the second one. Wondering, how would I know if what I am choosing is a good quality one? So the key thing is, and I'm, like I said, I'm gonna answer these more in depth in the Discord server. But when you're choosing a good quality project, you want to see, does it have or is it creating a technological advancing like utility? Like, does it provide something that's going to change the space or improve the space or sector that it's in? Is it going to be competitive within the sector? Like, say, for instance, with Ethereum. Like, Ethereum is the leading smart contract blockchain in the crypto ecosystem. So when you look thinking about a project that's competitive to Ethereum, you think of something along the likes of Cardano or Luna before last week, Phantom. So you want to look and compare that particular token to an asset that's doing something similar within that same realm. And if for whatever reason it has the ability to be better, or it has the potential to be better, like that may be a good quality project to get into. That's one key thing that I would say. You don't want to get into a project that's providing a high yield that tells you a bunch of hopes and promises what they intend to do, right? You don't want to get into a project and they tell you that this is what we're planning to build. Like, you want to get into projects that have built something first. They're not relying on you investing into their coin to solely develop what they have. So keep that in mind. That's something I would, certainly tell y'all to just focus on when you choosing quality projects. Did that cover that, man? hope that covered that for you. And like I said, I'm gonna give a more in-depth like description on how to choose great projects in the server. Y'all just stick with me in the crypto chat.
Yeah, that was really helpful, D-Wiz. You also said before about when you're like pointing out the addresses and stuff, you're saying that if like one thing has like 90 something percent of it, like that's a red flag. So can you like explain that a little bit more and other potential red flags?
Yeah, so when looking on the blockchain in particular, right? When you look on the blockchain, you can see what everyone holds. You can see what wallet created that particular asset. You can see literally everything. So you can see if someone's trying to do some sneaky stuff and move 90% of the supply to a different wallet to act as if somebody purchased that many tokens. Like there's so much stuff you can read on the blockchain, but like you just mentioned, like I said before, if you go on the blockchain and you see a wallet that quote unquote like purchased 95% of the supply, that's a red flag. That is a red flag because that means this wallet was allowed access to the project well before the public, and that's likely going to end in a rug pull. Now, I mentioned this in the last class, and let me see if y'all could, let me minimize this. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. What Jordan say? If anyone here wants 10%, yeah, y'all better take care of that. We take care of those who take the time and make effort to learn and grow. Most definitely.
Hey, D-Wiz.
What's up, bro?
Can you, I had something to say, but can you check your text messages real quick?
Yes, sir. I got you. Oh yeah, most definitely. And Jordan just touched on that too. But yeah, for anybody that's on the live currently, and Jordan just announced this in the chat. If you're looking to get a lifetime membership within the server, DM Jordan, I think that's correct. I'm reading the text. Hey, DM Jordan for 10% off for today only for a lifetime membership, so y'all can continue to build, continue to grow with us and learn everything, all these different classes. I'm gonna be here weekly, trying to inform y'all about cryptocurrency. I don't care what the market is doing. The market could be, we could be at a $10,000 Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna be here to hold y'all hand, lift y'all up, so y'all understand that we're here to stay in this crypto space. But most definitely, take advantage of this if you like, so y'all can continue to build and grow with us. And yeah, we're gonna continue to push out some great information for y'all. So who is this? Luann, nice y'all. So encouraging. I already have lifetime. Great. Love how y'all push learning. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're gonna continue to push out information so y'all can build upon and have a foundation for what we're building here as far as knowledge in this crypto space, because there's so many of us out here that that don't know. And I much rather y'all know like the opportunities out here that we can really exploit and take advantage of, most definitely. So
For real. I mean, a lot of these things, just like I've just learned off the cuff and, just stuff on my own, but not really sure about all this. So I've written down a lot and, this has been really educational so far, D-Wiz. So thanks.
no problem. I appreciate y'all just being here, because like a lot of people right now, the current market is not, it's not pretty. When last year or the year before, when the market was consistently going up, it was a lot of FOMO going on, a lot of new people coming into the sector, and everybody wanted to jump on those green candles that were pushing to the upside. But in reality, those weren't all buying opportunities. You know, when Bitcoin hit 69,000, even though, and tell this to everybody, Bitcoin is $69,000, it's still cheap. It's still cheap. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I mentioned that before and why. But even at 69,000 is cheap. But what I tell you is at 69,000, because I know these cycles of cryptocurrency, like we were due for a retracement. We were due for this correction that we're having. Like it has to happen. There's an inflow of people into this space, and then there's an outflow. There's people that, you know, lose a lot of money. There's a lot of people that make a lot of money. But you have to understand the dynamics of how this space moves. And right now, we're in a phase where the market is declining, but it's more of a accumulation phase. Don't accumulate, you know, all of your assets when Bitcoin is at 69,000. These are the times you start to accumulate. And this is not financial advice, but these are the times where you accumulate, and not at those higher levels, you know, when we have the potential to decline to levels in which we are right now. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, certainly, man. Did somebody else have a question? I don't want to leave anybody out. And like I said, any of those questions that I didn't touch on that were separate from what we were discussing today, I will be responding to those in the chat. Please leave them in the chat. I don't want to leave y'all out or not answer those questions.
I appreciate you, D-Wiz. And it's not financial advice, but the whales are buying Bitcoin. I posted it, but a lot of people buying Bitcoin. This is a good level to buy, especially if it breaks like 25K, there's going to be a lot of buying.
Most definitely.
Appreciate you so much, D-Wiz. This is so information.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's more to come. So y'all stick with me week on a week. My brother Booty gonna be here. Jordan to chime in, also holding down the chat. You know, as we start to build, we'll get more people that have experiences that I don't know about in crypto. So like I always say, I remain a student in this space or anything that I'm dealing with, whether it be trading options, Forex, crypto, like I remain a student. So I won't tell you that I know everything, because I don't. Like I'm always attempting and trying to push the needle and learn more and more and more. So like there may be somebody in this Discord server that knows more than me. And I won't knock them for knowing more than me. I won't proclaim that I know more than them. Like I'm not here for that. I'm here to build and learn collectively, you know, and that's how we grow. And that's how we make money. So that's what it's about at the end of the day. Yeah, so if we don't have any more questions, man, I appreciate all of y'all hanging with me, listen to me ramble about what I love and what I do in this space. Feel free to hit me in my DMs anytime. I will respond to the DMs. Feel free to hit me in the chat anytime with questions. Share news, something that you don't completely understand about crypto. Share that in the crypto chat. Share any ideas that you may have for topics that y'all want to see in the chat. If y'all ever want to go live randomly, like hit me up because I love talking about this stuff. I love providing information for everyone that I know, or if I don't know, we can research it together. So thank y'all again, man. I like I said, I appreciate y'all. And
When we go live tomorrow? We go live tomorrow?
Man, if you want to. What you want to do? You try to be on there all day today.
That was Jordan.
Right.
That was Jordan.
Right. But thank y'all again, man. I appreciate y'all. And we gonna end it here. Y'all got any more questions? Any more questions? Oh, somebody said something here. Cool.
I got everybody that's on the live, if y'all could please just drop some reviews and some feedback for D-Wiz. And just let us know what we can do to get better as a community. What are some things that you guys would like to learn about cryptocurrency? And also, we should create a time for that. Also drop some feedback on what you learned. What did you retain from this class? What did you take back from it? Also give us some feedback on some things that you may want us to go back over. But really appreciate you guys. Drop the feedback in the general chat or in the crypto chat. Appreciate you guys.
Most
Thank you again,
definitely.
D-Wiz.
Oh yeah, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, Jay, in the chat. Lauren being the co-host also, and everybody that participated, man. Y'all have a good night. Have a blessed evening. And hey, let's keep on building from here.